Right, welcome everybody. So today we're talking about, um, today we're discussing good sex or good finance in marriages. Essentially, what is more important? They did a survey recently on which is which is which which is more important in a marriage or in a long-term relationship, sex or finance or money. Now, they found that more people, well, 42% of people said that sex was more important of the two. And so, which meant that's 1 out of 10, right? And so, and then 35% favored money, and the others were not very sure, they were on the fence. So, I'm putting this question to all of us today, and let's kind of discuss it now. And we're here in long-term marriages or long-term relationships in marriages on just relationships. We've talked about it before, how sex plays a big role. At the same time, we say money, money plays an important role as well. So but the thing is, if you had to pick one, if one thing would make you walk away from a relationship or a long-term relationship or a marriage, would it be the lack of good sex or the lack of good finance? Now, Tamara has said both are important, but if we had to pick one, Tamara, that's the thing, which is more important? That is the debate. We know that both are important, but which is more important? So I'm waiting for your opinions. Let's hear you. Tamara thinks it's not fair to pick one. Tamara, life is not fair. So, Golden, can you hear us? Blessing, welcome. Alex, welcome. Now, I want to hear your opinions.
Thanks,
say that again. Blessing.
I said thanks. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon and welcome. Now, we're talking again, sex or money in a relationship or marriage, which is more important? Blessing, are you there? Now, guys, don't be quiet. Let's hear you. You're here too. Okay, Tamara said she would have to pick money. So, Tamara, what you're saying is, if the sex is really bad, you don't care as long as the money is good. Okay, that's it. That's your opinion. But some people would say that, their physical needs are quite important, and you need to connect with the person. Okay, they need to have that sexual chemistry for you. In fact, even research has shown that couples who have more sex generally have a higher sense of well-being. So, which means that sex it is quite important in relationship, and it does help. First for intimacy, it does help your general well-being. Well, Tamara said she will pick money because you can improve the sex. Tamara, thing is though, if you don't have chemistry, you don't have it. It's not something that I personally, I don't think it's something that you can learn. But whereas and you said you can learn sex, well, very much that, especially if you don't have the chemistry. But when it comes to the money, you can always, I believe that you can create opportunities of making money and work hard to make the money. Okay. Now, Goldie said that she will pick sex because exactly, you can both work and make money. If the sex is bad, then you now have to then be thinking of cheating, and that's not, what people want. So now, but I want to hear from other people. Well, Tamara, you're saying 1 minute you say money, and then you're saying sex is 100% important. You just realized. Alex, let's hear you. Can you unmute yourself and let's hear your opinion?
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Thank you for joining
us. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much. I've been busy lately, so I've not been joining up. I've not been following up.
You don't have to explain yourself. That's the most important thing.
Yes. The way it occurs to me, I don't think one is more important than the other. I think the two actually goes hand in hand. If I'm to pick one, I don't know which I'll be picking because the way I see the two are very important. There's no way a relationship would be in quotes now interesting or fun or get to the level it's supposed to get to if there's no money because money actually brings out more expression of love, and that's the basis of every relationship. When you
Well,
have money, you can express your love better and in diverse ways. And then sex is also an attestation of the love you claim to share, especially in relationships. So I think money is important, while sex is also very important.
yeah, but
The
the thing
two.
is, we don't debate that both are important, but we are saying which is more. Okay, I'll ask you this question. So let's say you meet a girl, right? She's hot and everything, you know, but the sex is great, but she's not very driven. She's not very, and so you know that she's going to be a drain on your purse. Right? She's going to be a liability for you financially, right? But the sex is good, right? It's great. Or the sex is really bad, but you see that she's creative. She has, this entrepreneurial spirit. You know that she will be an asset to you when it comes to making. Which would you walk away from? On
Mm,
one hand, the sex is bad. It's really bad, right? You know when you have sex and you just start to think, why did I even bother? That bad, right?
if sex is really bad, it's the whole setup of the relationship is as bad or as good as bad. I don't know, but if if we can still work it out, if we can work something out. See, I don't know, I just feel like the two cannot, they are not independent of each other. The two goes hand in hand. That's
Alex, they are very independent of each other. They are, they are. And a lot of ladies will tell you that they are independent. Like they will tell you, bro, guys have time to bang you till to tomorrow.
oh boy.
Whereas the guy who has money might not have. So that's debatable. But let's see. Blessing. Do you want to come in?
Not yet, please. I'll join you
Okay.
guys too.
Let's hear others. Alex Austin, thank you for joining us. Let's hear your opinion. Good sex or money? What's more important in a relationship? Austin, can you hear us? Ade as well, you're welcome. Let's hear your opinion. Goldie, you can write your opinion or you can talk if you're somewhere where you can talk. But it's good for us to have this debate. Now, sex and we don't doubt, like Alex said, there's no romance without finance, right? And so like money is a good way to express love. Very true. But so also is sex. And so both of them are important. But the question is, which would which would make you, what lack of which would make you consider walking away? So is it lack of money that will make you consider, okay, do you know what? The sex is great, but there's no money and it's a bit tough, so I walk away. Or the finance is good, but the lack of good sex would then say, because we've seen people who and that happens every day with people who go, do you know what? They're a great person, but we don't have this sexual compatibility. I think we've talked about it before as well, where we talk about sexual compatibility and we said, is it important in relationships or in marriages? So it was still kind of going back to that question. So do you think that if you are compatible with someone, sexually but not financially, it would work? Or you are very compatible financially, but not sexually? Which of them do you think it's a deal breaker? So Emeka, thank you for joining us. Emmanuel, we want to hear your opinion. Tamara, I agree with you. I think good sex is very important. Emmanuel, can we hear your opinion? Emeka, let's hear you. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me, please?
Yeah, go on. Emeka, so the debate today is are we talking good sex or good finance? Which is more important? Both are important, but we're saying which is more important? Which of them would make you, the lack of which of them would make you walk away from a relationship or a marriage, even?
I think good finance is more important to me because
You are an
that one
Igbo
does
man.
not. Hello?
Because you are an Igbo man.
No, not that. Just because things these days, everything have actually gone materialistic. You need a good house.
Yeah.
You need good education.
Mm-hmm.
You need a good car. You need to go for holiday. Okay,
Yeah.
all these things do not have substitutes. But for good sex, that one has a substitute. A lot of people have other sex toys they can use to complement whatever that they are not getting from the other
Yeah.
partner. But this particular one does not have good finance, does not have any substitute. So on that, I think the couple or the relationship, good finance is very important. Then with that one, one can actually begin to solve other problems, problems of not having good sex. You can begin to solve that problem, maybe begin to seek for medical attention, begin to seek for um, alternatives, maybe getting a good toys and stuff like that. I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of toy anyway, because by the grace of God, I have both,
Yeah.
but
But yeah, it's just your opinion. That's fair enough. But the thing is,
that's my
the problem is
opinion.
this. The thing is this, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to sex, or between two people,
Yes.
it's like sexual chemistry is like I don't think that anything can replace sexual chemistry. I don't like you can buy a whole shop of sex toys. I don't think that having a whole sex toy shop would solve that. That's the fact of physical and sexual chemistry between two people. That for me, I think that's irreplaceable.
Yes. Okay.
Mm. Now, as well, so people could argue that also that if the sex is great, you can't replace chemistry, but I can always go and work and hustle and make more money, or try and make money to get those holidays, and So, but Emmanuel, are you even there? You just logged in and you just gone quiet. Emmanuel, can you hear us? We want to hear your opinion. But go on now. Yeah, go on. Let's hear you.
I think for me, I may choose finance. I may choose
all the Igbo ones are picking finance, bro. Let's hear.
because if somebody picks sex, if they're having sex all the time, at the end of the day there is no money, then I don't think after some time the sex might become boring, right?
Well, that is true, but at the same time, if the sex is boring, no matter the amount of money, and without that sexual connection, I don't think that well, Ada is actually raising a very, very valid point, a very salient point. Ada, can you talk? Let's say you said if the sex is good, you're actually able to work on everything else. Do you know what? That is absolutely correct. If the sex is bad, you will often lack the motivation necessary to improve anything else that's bad in the relationship. That is true. So when two people are having great sex, they are forced to connect, and no one can actually stop them. So they're forced to be reckoned with. Then if the sex is boring, then clearly you're not doing it well. So that's a very valid point that has raised there. And I think it's still come back to this chemistry. You have that physical chemistry and the sex is great. You really connect. I think that you can, because I mean, sex is that thing where it's a level of intimacy where I think once you connect on that level of intimacy, other things can follow if you wanted to. So that's on one side. But others would say, look, why would I, how can I even get a hard on or be wet if I don't have money? Do you understand? That's your opinion. You're saying, look, money is more important because how can I even get a hard on or how can you know?
I think it's not as if money is more important than sex, or sex is more important than money. But I think we have to choose between the devil and the deep sea, right?
And the deep blue
So
sea,
we have
yeah,
to choose. Yeah, we have to choose one, because for me, I think both are intertwined and intertwined. So for me, well, I would not. Yeah, everybody like, or most people like sex. But the problem is, okay, in a situation whereby, okay, every day maybe the sex is good, they can display different tactics. But I think after some time, maybe there is no money. When there is no money, so how would the relationship continue? How will the relationship continue in the absence of money? So see that even the sex vibe begins to like. I don't know. I think so.
Okay, but see, when you say sexual connection, doesn't that really mean that you have sex all the time? Probably, of course, it will play a big role, but I don't think you would have. But you just have that physical connection, right? And once you have that level of physical connection, I think the emotional connection generally follows. I think, not in all cases, but in most cases, I would say. And so once you're able to, like Ade said, once you're able to conquer those things, then you're able to come together, both physically and emotionally, intimately, then other things would follow. But then on the other hand, you could have all the money, but you don't have that physical chemistry or connection, then you don't, you can't be happy. And we've seen research has also shown that couples who have more sex, have generally a better sense of well-being. Do you understand it, Manuel? So
Yeah.
it's like you say, it's a tricky one, but I think it's that thing where people will have to go for the, yeah, Philip, let's hear you. Philip.
My friend just joined. Yeah.
Is it Joanne, right?
Yeah, Joanne.
Welcome, Joanne, and thank you very much for joining. But Philip, what do you have to say on this topic? Good sex or good finance?
Sorry, I'm on the road. I'm on the road actually, so I forgot to mute my mic. I will say something maybe before the end of the program. Sorry.
But not on the road before they shoot you. Before they, why is this madman talking about sex on the road? No problem.
Okay.
Joanne,
Yeah.
thank you very much for joining us. Can you hear us? Joanne, can you hear us?
Hi, yes, please.
Hi. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, the topic today is good sex or good finance. What is more important in a marriage or in a long-term relationship or in a relationship generally? Does it have to be long-term in a relationship? What would make you walk away? So if you met girls, ladies, and guys as well, but let's give to ladies. So ladies, if you met a guy who is, he's rich, he seems to have a good job, he's funny and everything, but his sex is bad and the physical chemistry is not there, would you go ahead and marry such a person? Would you be in that relationship for the long haul, or would you walk away? Or let's flip it, if you have very good sexual chemistry, the sex is great and everything else, but he's still trying to find his feet when it comes to money. So when it comes to money, so
My phone doesn't support.
who would you stay with?
My phone else, my battery will die. My phone is not good to support.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm asking ladies now. So ladies, I think we need to mute. Let me mute all. Okay. Right. So now, ladies, I'm going to put a question again. So you meet a guy who's, he's great, and lovely guy, has a good job. He seems to be on top of his finances, earning well. But the physical connection and the sexual chemistry is just not there. And some those, you can't help who you're attracted to. It is what it is, right? Now, would you go ahead and stay in that kind of relationship, or would you say, thank you, but no thank you? See, Tamara says she will cry. Or on the other hand, you meet a guy who is not, he's not really there yet. Finance are not really there. Maybe he's squatting, whatever, But the sex is great and the physical connection is there. Now, if you had to pick one of them to stay with, who would you be with? Now, Blessing has said good. In fact, she has emphasized good, very good sex is a goal. So I think we don't. Her view goes without saying. So Joanne, Joanne, what do you think?
Okay, I think that for me personally, I will go for both good sex and good finance.
Joanne, that means you have to date two guys. Are you going to get married to both guys? We're saying which of them would you go ahead and get married to and be with?
And I think for me, hey, it's not easy, but we have to chop money and we have to chop good sex. So
which of them, both are important, which is more important? That's the question.
Okay, for me, money comes first.
Okay. I mean, some people have said that money is more important. Even if the sexual chemistry is not there, you don't mind living with some electrical device for the rest of your life. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's great. Now I'm gonna come to the guys, right? So Golden has said, if we have to, Alex has said, if we have to pick, you have to really pick. You will pick money. So money stops nonsense. If one of the sex isn't good, then with money you get another. Well, that means that you're actually going for the sex, because even if you have the money, the sex is bad. You're getting rid of that one with the bad sex and going for the one with better sex. So that doesn't really. You're actually going back to sex is important. So anyway, now Golden has said that when it is ninth time, it is only suya will be eating. Is it only suya will be eating? We need to have great sex. I mean, imagine me dreading the low time because I don't enjoy. Well, do you know what, Golden? That is, it sounds funny, but it is so true. A lot of couples, whether you won't admit it, and you might have experienced it as well, right? They dread having sex with each other or having to have sex with their partners because it is so boring. And like I said before, at some point you just go, what the even bother? And that's the worst feeling, because if anything, while sex is meant to kind of help you release stress and relax and be with that person you care about and release this oxytocin and all this, endorphins and all these different hormones, right? It would make you more stressed. So bad sex could actually have, its effect, right? Now, guys, well, yeah, Emmanuel, buying sex enhancement drugs is not the same thing as having sexual chemistry with a partner. Well, Goldie said if it's not that the mind is empty, I absolutely agree. Now, for guys, let's flip the table. Now, we've asked the girls, because guys, what we look for in women is kind of slightly different. We don't really bother so much about money. But the thing is, when it comes to that money aspect, it's even as much as you don't have to be a millionaire. We don't really care about money. But the thing is, we also would like a woman who's creative and hardworking, who would not be a liability to us, right? So in this, in this sense, that's what we're going to be using for men, right? So the money aspect would be a woman who would not be a liability to us, right? Or the other way around, right? So let's say you meet a girl who, she's pretty, she's smart, the sex is great, but and you can see that she doesn't know how to manage money. She's going to be an absolute liability to you. She'll want to buy bone hair straight, or just straight bone hair. I don't know what you call it, bone straight hair every week. she doesn't, basically she would be a leech to you, right? And she would be a drain on your purse, right? But the sex is absolutely amazing, right? Either that, or you have a girl who's, is great with managing the finances. You know that she will be a great asset to you. She's gonna bring, all this, help you create all this wealth, right? Help you be who you want to be, help you reach those goals. But the sex is absolutely rubbish. Now you have to pick between these two women. Who are you going for, guys? Moyaki, welcome and thank you for joining us. Guys, over to you. Who are you going for? Emmanuel, Alex, Austin, your hand is up. Let's hear you.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. If I have to choose, I think I'd go for someone I think that's not too sexually active. But the reasons would be that if I know that maybe you're smart and it's all about me spending money, that means from far, I can't really say you're smart. I can smell you have the brain of the porridge from the distance already. So I wouldn't really buy that because that is, I don't know if that's penny wise, pounds foolish. So because now, if it means financing, that is me financing the love, not that I'm financing my sexual desires. You're just there, you're a toy for now. So I don't think for me, I would really prefer to go for the one that I think she's contributing, because like funny enough is you can twerk your way into a man's heart, but when it comes to it, maybe his business is crumbling now, he needs you to twerk your brain. So he wants somebody that can twerk brain. You can't twerk your ass at the moment, so you need to twerk your brain. So what's going to happen at that moment when the man is not really? But for me, I feel I'll go for someone with
the one with the
low sex drive.
Okay, good. But Austin, you have to remember that again, statistics show that couples with great sex have a greater sense of well-being. Now, bad sex could actually lead to depression. I hope you know this.
Yes, I know that. And
there is you might have all these things. Yeah, go on.
For instance, I have some few friends who are actually at the time they wanted to travel. Then they wanted to travel and they didn't, all because they have this girlfriend who's so good, like she's crazy in bed, on like very good. So now they refuse to leave. I have two of them. I have Felix and I have Peter. So the two of them, they refused to move. They didn't want to travel because the sex is extremely good. Because whenever they were together, although I'm not really the guy who talks about sex or like if I'm with people, but the way they put the story is like, I'm wondering like, this is something else from these guys. But like now they refuse to leave. Now they're with the girls. And when I got back one time, we were together, and the next thing I heard was, if not for this useless woman, you think I will still be in Nigeria? It's because of you. I feel like, everybody was screaming like, come on now. But this was the whole thing. This was the whole idea. You picked one. You were supposed to pick, So I feel like at the point, like, we humans, we have this insatiable kind of desires. So at the point, I feel we always want more. I think it's more of a personal thing, like who you are actually, like it's more of a you thing now, because will you go for the money based on how you think and who you think you are? Will you go for the money or would you go for the lady? So because tomorrow would speak more of it, like you start blaming, if you fail tomorrow, like one didn't come, you start blaming, like, oh, I knew it. So even if you go for the money or you go for the sex, tomorrow would come like, oh, if I had known, I would have gone for that other person. It would like, yeah, it would definitely come. But in trying to cut the losses, yeah, for me, I'd go for someone without the sex.
That's the fair point. But Moyaki, thank you for Friday. You don't have to really apologize for being late. It's okay. But thank you very much, Austin. But the thing is this, right? I want to ask you, that couple you mentioned, are they still together?
At the moment, no.
Yeah.
One of them is not.
But the other is still together?
Yeah.
What does that say? That clearly the good sex is still working if they're still together, right?
Yeah, it's still working, but I feel good sex doesn't pay bills. So there are
that argument. What, the thing is this, right? And I'll make it clear. Now, time for the guys. I don't think that we should, same for women as well, just as humans, right? We should stop growing or taking up opportunities. Now, the sex was good, but I think they made a mistake. Well, the guys made a mistake by saying, no, I'm staying back here, when they could have gone ahead to pursue their purpose and be who they wanted to be and then bring the ladies along, when the time was right? Or actually travel, or actually, and I think Renaud Mokri said this as well, and he said that he put it in a comment somewhere, and he said, guys, do not get engaged to any girl in Nigeria, whatever. Travel, see the world, and you see different beautiful women from all over. And then once you've had all that, then you can decide. But then you're in a better position to make a choice. And I think that is very true. And so I think there's someone then actually replied, said, Gareno, I don't have money to travel. And he replied, Reno in his usual way, dear so and so, I would suggest you get used to your neighborhood girls. Right? But the whole point is this, right? Now, all this, the point that I just raised is the fact that even if they traveled and they had the experience to all these different women, they will still be chasing that compatibility, right? And chasing the money as well. They stayed back, even though they still argue about that money. That sex somehow on the intimacy has still kept them, or maybe at least one couple, right, have kept them. So somehow we cannot fully, entirely say entirely say that that example is a good one to say that money should be more important. Now, Moyaki, you said that it is difficult for the both to cheat. Exactly. If the sex is great, what are you looking for? And I think as well, when the sex is great, I think that you tend to communicate more. Like Ade said earlier in the chat, you become a force to be reckoned with. Like you can face the world together, but that's on one level of intimacy. But on the other hand, like Austin has also said, they will start to argue like, this useless woman, if not for you, I would have left Nigeria, I would have been so and so, So, but it's still, but at least we agree that both are very important, right? Both are important, but if we had to pick, and yes, Tamaras agrees with Moyaki. Now, is there any other one who wants to raise another opinion before we kind of end? I want to make it quite short so that we can discuss something else. Is there any other opinion? I think it's pretty straightforward. We've kind of, it's pretty straightforward. Both are important, but each to their own. But like we said, most people have actually same as the research or the statistics have shown that people have said, look, good sex overrides good finance or riches any day. But others have said, look, same here. Others have said, good money overrides sex. Whereas others have been on both sides, actually, like Tamara, for example, she's been on both sides. First of all, it was money, later she's like, actually, no, maybe sex is great. But I think we have to agree that both are very important. I want to thank everybody for today. And thank you. For those who are new, thank you very much for joining us. Do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It is Real Views. And then the Instagram page is Real Views 2021. Thank you very much again, guys, for this week. It's been great talking.